All right, guys, we're back. We're here to do Married at First Sight, Season 16, Episode 21. So Kirsten asks a very important question. Why wasn't she crying? Especially after Shaquille told her no. You mean she couldn't muster up one tear? That should have been a moment where they could have cried together. One of my favorite OJ songs is We Cried Together. Oh man, see, that's what love used to look like. That's what I actually grew up listening to. And that mess that I looked at with Kirsten and Shaq did not resemble that song. So, well, everything I said last week. And I want to add that I was trying to make a point when I said that you have to be trained on stuff. Like, tying your shoes and using a fork and spoon and this, that, and the third. You also have to be trained to hear the voice of God. This ain't going to be no Paul, on the road to Damascus moment. I mean, there are those moments. He just got to show up and be like, okay, look. We also have to be able to hear him, like I said, on a daily basis, when if I get confused, if I can't figure it out, I'm like, okay, Lord, I need help. Which way am I supposed to go? So he is supposed to direct our steps. And that takes time. It really takes time. And Shaquille nor Kirsten, neither he nor her, neither one of them can hear the voice of the Lord. So everything that you hear them say goes under the umbrella of Christianese. That's what it is. It's just talk. There's no action behind the words, the language that they're speaking. And in the Christian community, they full of them. They all in the highways and the byways, up inside the rafters of these churches. And we have the opportunity to actually see him in his double speak. Well, I had been feeling this way, and then, when I got to I didn't know what was going to come out of my mouth. And, I thought decision day was decision day. That if you had to make a decision, then you need to make a decision. Well, I didn't know that, you can make a decision and then, have the extra time, afterwards, well, maybe, we could be friends. Or maybe, you never know. We might be husband and wife again. We ain't divorced yet. Oh, my God. Oh, God. Shaq, both he and Kirsten scare me to death. So, for everybody out there that think he's stupid, okay, I can't. I have no fight. I have no fight with anybody that has a problem, with Shaquille. And I also, don't have a problem with people, who have a problem with Kirsten. My problem is with the ones that are treating her especially, like she is some angel, that's sent by God from heaven to bestow her essence, upon us mere mortals on earth. Kirsten is full of problems. She is infected with problems. So she's a pretty problem. And Shaquille, in my opinion, should never have consummated that marriage. Ever. He should have did the same thing. And you would think that since him, Clinton, and Aries are so tight with each other, but I think that up until a certain point, Clinton was still trying to figure out how he could have sex with Gina. And maybe by that time, Shaquille and Kirsten had already had sex. Because Aries, I don't know, when they had the 1 month anniversary, and he put it on the table then that for the rest of the show, he didn't even want sex to be, he took it and took it off the table. So I'm really curious about all the conversations and things that were going on when all of these decisions, are being made. because he said on the after show, and I'm hopping all over the place, y'all. Will you forgive me, please? And he said on the after show that Clint and him had a discussion. Clint said that he thought that she was going to say yes. So he said that him and Jasmine had a conversation about decision day, before decision day, and he told her that his decision was no. So, Aries acts like he's a gentleman, and then he snatches it back. Because the hostess, she asked what was some of the private conversations that he and Jasmine, had. And he said that after the honeymoon, she woke him up, and she asked him why didn't they have chemistry. And he said that he told her specifically why that was. And if he had told me that specifically, Jasmine, I don't know why she stayed in that experiment for 8 weeks. I would have got my stuff up then, gathered it, and I told y'all I would have been gone before Dom and Matt. I would have been out. That would have been the conversation, and that would have been, the rest of it. And so look, I'm not even going to go there, okay? But she did give us an opportunity to see, what grace, and womanhood, looks like. I salute her, for that part. But who was I talking about? Was I talking about Kirsten and Shaq? Because that's who my mind is on. Yeah, I was. Because I was asking her why wasn't she crying. And I know why she wasn't crying. Because she wasn't in love with Shaquille. And she wasn't emotionally attached, to Shaquille. And this is that other episode when the men were at the club, and this episode is the most emotion I've seen out of Kirsten. When she gave and did the double bird to the camera, girl, for real, sit down. And then she did it when what was it? You know how they have the the hidden cameras, on. I don't want to call them hidden cameras because they know that they're there. But, they have the other apartment cameras, on. And she did that, and I don't know if she thought that production was going to pick up on it. But, yeah, girl, they got you. They got you. And that is the tear in her that I've been looking at this whole time. And Kirsten hasn't been authentic in this experiment. So I don't even know why she expects authenticity when you're not willing to give it. I mean, it's disgusting. Her and Jasmine are on the completely different spectrum of womanhood. Kirsten has the face, and Jasmine, has the face too as far as I'm concerned. But if there were to be a comparison, you know how we look like at teeth and stuff like that. But Kirsten has nothing. She is a shell of something. I don't even know what to call her. It was interesting, like I said, to see her have this much emotion. When she was looking at the dude, like, okay, you need to get away from me. I was like, who is she? My husband. I'm ready to go home. And see, that's the other thing, with Kirsten. If you really wanted to be married, then why do you act like a girl? Why didn't you how long did it take you for you to even start making people on this camera? Because I never believed it. And I still don't believe it. She has people now believing that she has changed. I never saw that. So what they're seeing in her is their hopes and their dreams. Because Kirsten has regularly shown me that she is shallow. She's a very shallow individual, and as deep as Shaq is, she's shallow. So maybe I'm not even gonna go there, but it's disappointing to. It's like having dirty laundry that's aired for everybody, to look at, and nobody wants that, and. It's a stain. What she has done is a stain. And I'm going to say something else as well. Looking at her and I saw it in your face. About Memphis. I knew that you were hurt. I could tell. I saw it in your face. So, again, Kirsten, I have not heard. I better hear the rest of the story about Memphis. And then, do I even trust Shaq at this point? Because when I saw him on the after show, I wasn't impressed. I wasn't impressed with Eris. I wasn't impressed with him. I wasn't impressed with Nicole. I thought she really looked good. I think this is the best I've seen Nicole. I mean, I don't know. I feel like she's got like something, maybe her piece is adding, to what she got going on. But yeah, I wasn't impressed with Eris or Shaq. So Clint is supposed to be on their next episode. So we'll see what that brings. And I'm trying to think more about Kirsten. If she wanted to be married, she should act like it. I mean, you sat there and smiled at that man. So this is the other thing I want. She smiled at that man after the wedding, during the reception, and then turned him down for a kiss. So I wanted to ask the guys out there. So we're looking at Memphis, right? I'm thinking about Shaq. And hold on. So I was reading some stuff. Do you know that Shaq actually has his own bow tie company? He has like a business. I forgot what it's called. But he actually has his own business. So he's doing something other than teaching. Or being in education. Because education can only get you up to a certain income level. You have to write books. You have to be a lecturer. You've got to have your own business. You got to have a side, hustle. You've got to be able to take that degree and then let it help you make money. So with Kirsten, she has to realize that he's not Jay-Z. And he doesn't just have, a couple of billion stashed away to go and buy her a Lamborghini and a $2.9 million, house tomorrow. Miss, we got to get a house. I need a house. So now she got to go furniture shopping that she already should have done. And see, this is the thing, too. And I'm talking to Jasmine, when I say this, because, like, Jasmine is back in her parents', house. So when you use this kind of thing as a let me wait and see kind of thing, then I think that you put yourself in a position, the energy around you. It's like that whole manifesting, kind of understanding. Go and get your end tables. Go get the furniture that you want. Go and do and live your life. And then you're getting ready to do Married at First Sight. All of this halting your life to see. If Kirsten had gone and gotten the bedside tables that she needed and decorated her house the way that she should have decorated her house, that could have made a complete different impact on Shaq when he went to go and visit her in her home. If she had her mama over, take her to lunch, have Shaq take her to lunch, do something. Do something. You already saw how she took him over her daddy's house and they didn't film. She could have done that. If she really, 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 really wanted Shaq to meet her family, she could have done that. And he was right. We make time for the stuff that's important to us. And that's another thing. When she didn't make time to go to him in Memphis, because I remember one part where he was saying that she told him that she would be down there on a date. So if she wasn't gonna go down there with him on the day he was going, then she was supposed to meet him down there. And she didn't do that. And you're looking at a dude like Shaq who knows, okay, I'm only going to be able to provide her X amount of lifestyle until I get to this next point, X amount of years later. So what do I have? What can I offer her? And he can offer her proximity. So look at it like Clarence Thomas, right? So Clarence Thomas doesn't have the money to have a yacht, but he has proximity to a billionaire. So now he can ride on the billionaire's yacht without having to own a yacht. And he can take his fat, ugly wife, with him too. On the yacht. So you see what I'm saying? So like Clarence Thomas can only make so much money on the government scale because everybody in the government gets paid on the scale system, even the president. And that's for retirement, purposes. So, I'm trying to think. I have to look that up for the president because I'm trying to think. Because yeah, his is not about retirement. But anyway, it most government jobs are on a scale, and Clarence Thomas is one of those government workers that is on a scale, and so he can only make X amount of dollars from his job. Any other benefit has to come, like I just said, from writing books and doing other stuff, and then he uses his proximity. So this is what I see Shaq is offering her. He's showing her, this is how I can bring you in as Dr. Dylan's wife. And then we can go out here in these professional streets and do this and see if this is something, that we can come together on. And that was like it was a prime time, Black Tennessee was going to be all over the place, there. And so that would have been an opportune time for them to hit the streets, together. And then too, I want any men that have comment to let me know, what you think, because I can also imagine him planning. So if you and your wife decided, or girlfriend, whomever, decided that y'all were going to have dinner, at Saturday night, and 8 o'clock, this is what we're going to do. And you decide that you're going to plan either at the restaurant or, and this even worse, at the restaurant. I mean, you're doing it as a surprise. So she only knows that y'all are going to have dinner. You haven't figured it out whether it's going to be at home or if you're going to, but you're going to get together at 8. You got this on the calendar for you guys, time. And then she calls you with the worst kind of excuse, already doing whatever it is that she's telling you. And she's not going to make it home because she's assumed that this dinner is not important, that this is just another, time that y'all are going to get together and you can do it another time. She's into whatever she's into. And now you got to go and tell the dude at the restaurant, yeah, well, we're not going to, do this, that, and the third. And then he gets the bad news about his school program. So, I mean, with a moody, emotional joker like Shaq, I could see that sending him somewhere. And then, her half-hearted and, but softly given excuses. I mean, this dude cried and said it the most gentle way that he could. No, I want a divorce. I mean, he's sitting up here crying in front of you. And you didn't like it when he gave it to you in a gentle form. When what he had to say was something that you didn't want to hear. Then it's the same thing, Kirsten, when you're doing him. Yeah, well, I don't know. I wasn't attracted to your bald head. Just because you said it like that, Kirsten, doesn't mean he can't take offense at it. I'm just saying, it's not nice when, it doesn't taste good when it's served up back to you. You know what I'm saying? So that's stuff that you need to think about, before you start serving it out, to other people. So do I have other stuff written down here? Yeah, I talked about Shaq and his double speak. That was just disgusting. He reminded me of Kirsten when her and Mitch, child, she couldn't decide whether the door was open or closed. And she had Alexis looking at her like, girl, I'm worried about you. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so what else? Yeah, and somebody said it, because like that suit that Shaq had on, it reminded me of a harlequin. And if you look up what a harlequin is, instead of it being the squares The squares would be turned to the side and they would be diamonds. So that's what a harlequin is, like a multi-patterned diamond outfit, not squared. But anyway, it's still a clown. And he looked like a clown. And I know her looking back at this, especially, somebody said that they were together. I would literally have to see that. Okay, so I'm not even entertaining it. But I know for her to look back at this and see him looking so stupid, and I'm not talking about the crying part. I'm talking about his outfit, Mr. Dapper Dylan. I don't know who told Shaq that he knows how to wear clothes. But yeah, somebody lied to him. And like I said, the suit that he wore at the retreat, and then this one that he wore for decision day, no, sir. I'm not accepting that. He thinks that he is Mr. Dapper Dylan. Yep, just like I stopped accepting her and her minimalist lie when I saw that closet in her apartment. Yeah, girl, I knew you was lying in. I knew it. I ain't going there. Okay, so what else do I have here? Aries. Oh, okay, so I said Aries has double speak too. So when he was at Cheese's apartment, when he was sitting up there with her, with his girlfriend, with Cheese's girlfriend and Cheese, and he was saying to her that he wanted her to hook him up with somebody. And then she was like, okay, I'll see what I can do. He was like, well, can you do it today? And he was telling the truth. So then when he gets on the after show, and then he's being asked about his dating situation, he's saying, well, I want to wait until filming, is over. See, this is, and Shaq sit there, yeah, he. Aries, he lays it out there. He keeps it real. That ain't keeping it real, Aries. And this is why I can't believe nothing coming out your mouth. And I remember when Jasmine was talking to her aunt. Her aunt was like, yeah, he full of it. He don't want to be married. I actually see it from both sides. I can see Jasmine saying that from an aspect of having lived, with him on one hand. But then I can also see it, having looked at this season, the way the way her aunt is probably, looking at it, as well. And I don't think that Aries was really interested in being, like, to go out there and pick somebody on his own. I don't think that he's interested in being married. I think this is why he chose Married at First Sight, because he was hoping that they'd be able to give him something that he wasn't able to pick out himself. And that's exactly what they did. But he doesn't like her spirit, because he wants someone that is going to be, going to give him the impression that he can flip him upside down and do, whatever he wants to do. And he actually had that in Jasmine. But I think it's something about her looks that kept him, from that. So it's Proverbs. I'll put it down in the description. It's I want to say it's Proverbs 31 that talks about the value of having a good wife. And Aries is so far in the street that he has no clue what he actually had. So this next time he gonna be like Shaq. He's gonna have the looks, and he's gonna have the big booty. He gonna go get him a big booty Judy, and she's gonna be shallow inside. Gonna look, get that name, put that thing in some ink, on some paper, and then go in there and put hook up a Hoover to his bank account and suck all the money out of it. Oh my God, yeah, see, oh, okay. Yeah, and I did say that I don't think that Kirsten and Shaq can hear God. It just really is sad, because teeth can be fixed. We already see that Jasmine has done something, with her teeth. Bunions can be, fixed, Aries. All these exterior things that he could have complained about Those things can be fixed. And Jasmine, I think that if he had told her that those were the things that had put him off, she actually would have been willing to actually go and have those things changed. And this is how stupid Eris is. This is how stupid he is. Those things are cosmetic. He's talking about, well, you can't change your height. People change their height all the time, Eris. I know I walk around in high heel shoes all the time. People change their eye color all the time. People change their teeth all the time. People change their noses all the time, Eris. Their chins all the time. I don't even know what you're talking about. Okay. So, do I have anything to say about Clint, Gina, and the rest of these people? So Gina says that she's ready to date. And I kind of get what she's talking about. Her and Jasmine are kind of on that same wave. Like Jasmine had the weeks of being in the experiment to do her grieving and to kind of work through some of the stuff, that I'm sure came up with Eris, rejecting her. So she's had this time to kind of move through some of this stuff. And then now that they're past decision day, she's in a place where she can just go on and go about her business. Because she says she know what she brought to the table, and she was a good wife. And if that was something that he wasn't interested in, next. Okay, you can move out of the way, sir. Next. Next in line. So, Clint on the phone with somebody talking about things that he thinks that he's learned. Okay, Clint. Okay, we'll see. Mac, and see, this is the thing. This is the thing. Don must have hit a nerve. Because why are we watching McKinley walking around in a house that his friend said that he really can't afford? Okay? Why are we doing this, McKinley? What point are you trying to prove? And what wife? I mean, I saw this Married at First Sight. I think it was Danielle, and I can't remember what's his name, Cody and Danielle. It was the season. I want to say it was Houston, so they must have been to Houston twice. Because anyway, he bought this house. I mean, really not. I mean, for a bachelor, I thought it was a really nice house. I thought his furnishings were, good. And he was really, wanting to get into a certain spot, financially. And that woman went in there and she was like, yeah, no, I need another house. And he was looking at her like, and she said, no, I need another house. And what do you think they did? They had to go and buy another house. And he went into debt. He went into a debt he didn't even want to go into, messing around with her. And that's the same thing that's going to happen with McKinley if he puts himself in a house that's too much. I mean, say he runs into somebody within the next 5 years. It takes you at least 5 years to get equity in the house. So he's going to have to, if he's buying a house, that's 5 years that you need to go ahead and commit. So what if she doesn't want to, because I don't think she stayed in the house, she did not stay in the house 5 years. And he had already, it was Bobby. His name was Bobby. And I think her name was Danielle. And, like I said, so he did all that planning and thinking and went on the show and ended up with a woman that was like, I appreciate that you had a roof over my head for X amount of time, but we need to go and do this. And why are you doing this so that we can see it lifetime on the cameras? And then you want to sit up and talk about Dom. And Dom, I'm very disappointed. She told Pastor Cal, she said it with her entire chest, child. When she was telling Mac that she wanted a divorce, she said that she told Dr. Cal, well, I told you that a dog in the bed was a deal breaker. And now she got a dog. And I want to know, does the dog sleep in the bed? So I can't fully go in on McKinley for being a hypocrite when you want to, Dom. I mean, you really made a whole big mess about him and his dogs. When then now, not even X amount of time later, now you've gone and gotten a dog. And same thing with Eris, with this whole love that he got for the golden doodle that is Duchess, because Clint and Hank, he see the relationship between Clint and Hank, and he wants some of it, and he's all asking Jasmine, can he come and visit Duchess? And then when she said, well, yeah, you come take her. Well, I didn't say I wanted to take her. I just said, I come visit her. So then we see on the next episode that him and Clint sit down there with, Clint got Hank and he got Duchess. So Eris is a double talking, man loving mess. So we have this thing called the manosphere and the red pill and the what are they? Incels, the MGTOW. And I think Eris is one of the people. He is in that community of people. And he's sick. There's something wrong with Eris. Yeah. So, what is it? I was looking at this thing. Yeah, whatever, Mac. I can't. I'm not even. And I'm real glad that his friend told us the truth. That he couldn't, that this place that they was looking at was out of his price range. So, I don't think that Kirsten gets it. She's mad at Shaquille. She doesn't even have the wherewithal to see the part that she's played into this whole situation. And I remember Shaq talking on the after show saying that now that he's looking back at it, he was like he wished that he wasn't so much in his head. And now that he sees, I didn't know that this, made her feel this way. That's because y'all are just caught up. I mean, you're so caught up and you're sitting up trying to make a life decision. And I actually agree with Kirsten. 8 weeks isn't long enough, especially for two people like y'all. Two God, Bible thumping, consummating, jokers that y'all are. Y'all don't have the luxury that Jasmine and Eris have or that Clint and Gina have, because they left it. They drew the line and they said, okay, we're not doing this. But now y'all went ahead as if this was a marriage. Then it's going to be a marriage. And then you're going to mess everything up and stank it and funk it all up and then go and say, Jesus, here, fix it. Fix it, Jesus. And then if he fixes it and then they don't learn anything from it, it's going to be the same thing all over again. It's just heartbreaking. So, am I done? Oh, I'm at 32 minutes. I did not mean to be this long. I actually thought that Cheese had some good advice, for Eris. So, Eris has this thing. Like, he can be around people who can give him information. I've said this before. Like his cousin. His cousin saw everything that we're looking at right now. And she was looking at him like, boy, you have lost your mind. And that's why she couldn't put it down. She couldn't. And I get it. It makes so much more sense, to me now. So, I thought that was a good segment, with Cheese. I don't know why his girlfriend says that she has friends that are interested in Eris. Then I feel sorry for her friends. And Eris said that Cheese went through and looked at the friends that she was talking about. He said that he didn't think that Eris was going to like them. But I think it could have been that he was protecting them from Eris. Because until they are ready or able to watch this season back on TV, they have to take what he's telling them. So I'm not sure if people were actually watching the episodes by the time they got to decision day. I'm not sure of how this whole thing works. I'm thinking that they didn't, because this was taped a while ago. So I'm thinking that they're probably finding out. I don't know. I actually don't know, to tell you the truth. I really don't. I don't know how this works. I hear people tell me how they think that it works, but I still haven't fixed it in my head yet. Maybe that's something I'll investigate. But, okay, so Nicole and Chris, they got a lease. So according to this scene that they give us in Lifetime, they said that it's going to be a couple of more weeks when we see Nicole on the after show, she says that they're still in his one-bedroom apartment. So they haven't moved into the new place yet. And Nicole has the paperwork to change her name. So the couples come together at dinner, and Lifetime wants us to believe that nobody knew who did what. Maybe some of them didn't, but Nicole definitely knew about Shaq and Kirsten. So even if she didn't know about everybody else, she knew about them. And so anyway, they went around the table. Dawn was there. She was eating If you look at the way that Dawn was eating that food, even when I was looking at it, it just seemed unnatural, the way that she was eating that food. And I've listened to other people, and they picked up on it too, so it wasn't just me on that one. So, and then she said that she wanted to leave, early. And so after then, was it? I think she was there for for the Kirsten and Shaq conversation, which was, did I say Nicole Shaq? Kirsten Shaq conversation. And Shaq talking about, well, I don't know. It might be me. You never know what might happen in the future. Okay, Shaq, they asked her a point-blank question, and she gave you a point-blank answer. This is why y'all couldn't never get on one page. You said that you wanted to get a divorce from her, and somehow you're still not on the same page. How is that You're not even on your page. And this is why. It just wasn't going to work. And that's the other part of why I can't be mad that he said no. He really saved them from some torture. The problem is the fact that they actually, acted like they wanted to stay married to each other. That was something that they actually should have had a conversation, about. And then Kirsten, Shaq said that he wanted to have a conversation with you about decision day. And he said that she told him, well, whatever you decide is your decision. And then he gives you his decision and you got your lips poked out. But I didn't see one tear fall from your eye. I saw your lips, Kirsten. I saw your puckered up lips, your irritated looking lips, but I didn't see no tears. Where are they, Kirsten? Where are the tears? You questioning Shaq's tears, so now I'm questioning yours, Kirsten. See how that works? So anyway, Dawn leaves. Then Nicole asks McKinley, does he want to go out with Gina? And he admitted he did, and Clint sat there like, yeah, I wasn't expecting this. And then you got everybody crying. I'm Nicole. She need to mind her own business. So Clint was the last person to know. If Clint didn't know, and he's the last person to know, then if Clint, especially looking back at this, why didn't Eris tell Clint? If Eris loves Clint as much as he says that he loves, and he's giving me the impression that he loves him, why didn't he tell Clint, especially after decision day? He could have told him after decision day. But Eris said that he didn't think that it was going to be something that was going to be brought out on the table. But he said, I'm here for it. Poor Clint. But yeah, Clint, let's see you answer this question. I mean, it's like that the joker to give you the hand that said that they're going to help you, and then to snatch it back at the last minute. When you reach out and say, well, okay, thank you, for your helping hand, he'll snatch his hand back at the last minute and say, yeah, I ain't giving you my hand, and then just let you fall, and, fall in a puddle of mud. There's something wrong with Eris. So, yeah, with Clint, where am I? Oh, and on the after party, Nicole said, yeah, I'm not going to feel guilty because I already know Clint. His feelings weren't hurt, and he's a big boy anyway. He like to dish out truth. So when it's time for him to take some, then now we got to be treating him like he's some kind of wilting flower. And then you got Shaq and Eris child. Clint ain't even got to be in the room. He got two big, strong bucks sitting there defending his position, and he's somewhere else. He is somewhere else, and they are defending Clint and putting all his bullet points for him. This is it's unreal. It's just disgusting. The bros before hoes. That's what I should have did it. Bros before hoes. Yeah. So, yeah, I just think that's it. Again, I haven't decided what I'm gonna do for the next episodes. I'm tired. I really thought that I was gonna be on vacation, and I'll have to consider what I'm gonna do. So please continue to have patience with me. Thank you for your participation, and I will talk to y'all on the next video.